Alright, so let's talk closing costs, words no one buying or selling a house wants to hear. What these are basically charges from third parties to help you buy or sell the home. For a seller, these can include things like the title fees, homeowners title insurance, which is basically a coverage that the title company has to make sure everything goes good. You'll have search and exam fees where the title company looks back, make sure there's no liens on the property, things like that. You'll have an HOA fee, typically transfer, which is split between both parties. And then there's a lovely confusing one called a closing fee. I like to think of that as like the cost to get in the room. Typically in Indiana, it's split between the buyer and the seller, a couple $100 each. And that goes towards the title company's overheads. So for a seller, those are pretty much it. On the buyer side, it gets a little bit more convoluted. Again, you'll have half that closing fee, half the HOA transfer typically. Then you're going to have a bunch of title fees as well, recording the deed and the seller's affidavit or sales affidavit, and you're going to have things like that that will go to the county. You'll also have title fees. They'll be doing any riders that are included, like HOA riders, they'll charge you for those, and also preparing the deed. And then you're going to have the big ones, which are the loan origination fees, and all those other fees from your lender. The big one is the escrow setup. So if you think about it, the bank is going to be paying your mortgage payment, which will include the principal, the interest, your real estate taxes, and your homeowner's insurance. Well, because we don't pay everything on the first right at closing, if you get 12 months from now, you won't have made 12 payments yet. So when that homeowner's insurance becomes due, there's not enough money in the account for the bank to pay that for you. So what they do is they collect some up front, so then that way there's enough money in the account to make those payments. Same thing with real estate taxes. Now by law, they're only allowed to keep a certain amount, so you'll sometimes see an aggregate adjustment showing that they can't just keep whatever they feel like it, okay? And that money is still yours, but you're paying into it with your mortgage payment, and it goes towards those yearly charges, half-yearly charges. So one thing to think about with the closing costs is these are the costs for you to buy and sell your house. That's the best way to look at it. They can be adjusted a little bit, but most of them are pretty much set, depending on your lender and things like that. You'll even get to pay for wonderful ones like a flood certification, even if you lived on top of a mountain. So there's some weird ones in there. Overall, your agent, me, will be able to go through those with you, and so will the loan officer to make sure everything is correct. But yeah, that's basically what closing costs are.